It's postseason time here in the ASUN. We welcome you into the quarterfinal series for 2021 ASUN softball as FGCU welcomes in the Stetson Hatters. I'm John Vitas as we get ready for this best of three series here this weekend. We've got two games on the docket for you tonight as the Hatters get set to go against the Eagles. These two teams know each other very well. They've played 6 times already this year, including 3 games last weekend. Warm, sunny day here in Fort Myers. Game 1 will feel like a day game, and Game 2 will be under the lights. The senior Marissa Meeseymore in the circle for FGCU, facing the lefty Brianna Clary to start the day. Clary crouches low in the lefty's box and takes a strike at the knees to start the day. Well, it is postseason time, double elimination here in the opening round. This is the 1 seed and the 4 seed here in the Southern Division. This one is lined over third. That's a fair ball rolling towards the corner. Batterton slides to knock it down, but into second easily is Clary. So the Hatters start the day with a base hit, and it brings up Elizabeth Jackson, the left fielder. Let's meet the defense for David DeRose's FGCU Eagles here in Game 1. It's Batterton in left, Nene Rowe in center, and Farley Callahan in right field. Emily Estroff is at third base with Reedy Davenport at short. The second baseman is Hope Hernandez, and Casey Schubert is at first. First pitch line foul off the left side and out of play. That was Jackson with a good swing. Abby Thomas does the catching, working with the senior Meeseymore. A late switch just a few minutes before the game. Taylor Bauman was set to start, and Meeseymore was going to hit as the designated player. They flip-flopped. That one is outside for ball 1. Both of them are excellent two-way players, providing probably the most pop of anybody in the FGCU batting order. And so they'll both hit, but they decided to make a change in the circle just before first pitch. Not sure if it was a little gamesmanship from Coach DeRose to try and throw off Stetson, or if it was just a genuine change at the last minute. That one's low for ball 2, but it's something that you'll see from time to time across softball. They are playing Jackson the other way to the extreme right now. Batterton is tucked just inside the left field line. Off-speed pitch dives low, and it's 3-1. And then Rowe in center field is playing directly in the gap in left center. So a hot start for the Hatters. The top 4 batters in their order, all hitting .320 or higher. 3-1 pitch is on the outside corner, strike 2. Hatters, though, have struggled in the circle, and that's why they finished in 4th in the Southern Division. Their overall record just 8-24, 3-15 in ASUN play. But they do have some offensive firepower, and Jackson is part of that. Chops one towards the middle, off the glove of Davenport, backhanded by Hernandez. They send the runner to throw to the plate, and the tag is made, but we've got an out call. It's batter's interference on Jackson, so she is out, and Clary has to return to second base. I guess she interfered with the catcher there. That was a weird call by the home plate umpire. And so that's the first out, a break for FGCU. Now Riley Russell, the third straight lefty that Meeseymore will see. Russell at .333 for the year. And has started 32 games. That one's low for a ball. The Hatters haven't played as many games as the Eagles. 32 in total for Stetson, 43 for FGCU, so an 11-game differential. But despite the lower total in games played, Russell is still second in the league in stolen bases with 27. Good block there by Thomas to keep Clary at second, and it's 2-0 on Russell. Schubert on deck, a dangerous hitter, and then Steiniger in the 5-hole, the catcher. Danielle Diaz bats 6th, the third baseman. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and it touches the outside corner, strike 1. The DP for Stetson is Marissa Baxter. She bats 7th. Catherine Beaton in the 8-hole, the first baseman, and then the second baseman, Alyssa Gilman, rounds it out. Mishimura 2-1. A bunt is pulled back and it misses down and in for ball 3. John Schaefer makes the call, the home plate umpire. Assisted today at first base by Eric Salgado and at third base by Daniel Papendick. Mishimura behind in the count. The 3-1 is low, ball 4. So Russell draws the walk, and the Hatters have him right where they want him. 2 runners on with only 1 out for their top power threat, Lizzie Schubert. Schubert with the 3rd best slugging percentage in the ASUN at .642. That's the best slugging percentage amongst the 4 teams in the Southern Division. A .326 batting average, and she takes low for ball 1. Schubert leads the Hatters in doubles, homers, RBIs, and total bases. And she has started all 32 games. A senior trying to make sure her season doesn't end tonight. And her career as well. That one's inside for ball 2. Both these teams with some seniors that don't want to see things end today. Of course, if the same team wins both games tonight, that's it for the weekend. Off-speed pitch is in for a strike. If they split these 2 games tonight, we'll come back and do it again tomorrow at 2 p.m. And would be a winner-take-all game. Loser's season comes to an end. 2-1 is Athens, a called strike 2. And this game 1 always so important. Because if you don't get this first game, you are completely backed against the wall the rest of the weekend. 2-2 on Schubert. Runners take their leads. Mishimura fires. And this one's looped out towards shallow right. Hernandez is there, and she makes the grab in shallow right field. So a big out there for Mishimura, and it brings up Steiniger with 2 outs and 2 on.
Number 6, the catcher, Nikki Steiniger.
Steiniger batting 5th despite some struggles this year. Just 8 for 41 for the season. With 3 doubles. And she takes at the knees for a strike. Steiniger is the catcher and a right-hand hitter. The pitch. Catches the outside corner. Good frame by Thomas, and it's 0-2. Stetson under the direction of Frank Griffin, now in his 25th season in DeLand. A fixture on the Stetson campus. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. She got her. Good pitch by Mishimura running away. And Steiniger down on strikes to end the inning. 1 hit and 2 left. The Eagles come to bat in a scoreless game after this. You're watching the ASUN Championships live from Fort Myers. Bottom of the first. No score here in game one of a three-game series between Stetson and FGCU. Nene Rowe will start the inks for David D. Rose's team, followed by Mckenna Batterton and Reedy Davenport here in the first. Two lefties and a righty against right-hander Jamie Tino. 3-9 with a 4.20 ERA so far this year. First pitch misses to Rowe for ball one. Look how shallow the second baseman Gilman is playing, basically next to the circle. 1-0 pitch is bunted foul, and they know how much speed Rowe has, the league leader in stolen bases this year. And she beats out a lot of infield grounders. That's part of the reason she's batting .354. As a sophomore here, was hitting over 400 before the COVID shutdown last year. Takes low for ball two. Tino is 5'9", a senior from Royal Palm Beach High School in Florida. A health sciences major and a member of the A-Sun Honor Roll last year. Here's the 2-1. Chopped towards second and perfectly positioned is Gilman to make the play. So that one worked well. The strategy to bring the middle infielders as far in as you'll ever see. And Rowe is retired for the first out. So now Mckenna Batterton, another hitter with a high batting average, .348, her mark so far.
The left fielder, number 88, Mckenna Batterton.
The pitch to Batterton is in the dirt for ball one. Tino with the second most innings pitched this season for Stetson. Chloe Temples is their number one pitcher, but Tino gets the start here in game one, her 12th start of the year. 1-0 pitch is high for a ball, and she will give up plenty of loud contact. The opponent's hitting .324 against Tino this year, 81 hits in 58 innings. So a lot of onus on the defense tonight for Stetson to try and track down some of those batted balls. That one's on the outside corner for a strike. And only 12 strikeouts in those 58 innings, so those fielders better be ready. 2-1 here on Batterton. One out, nobody on in the first. That one is ripped on the ground to second, handled though by Gilman, and the throw is true for the second out. A couple of 4-3 ground outs to start the night for FGCU, and Davenport will be the hitter. Let's set the defense for Stetson in the outfield left to right. It's Jackson, Russell, and Clary. A lot of speed out there.
Number 1, the shortstop.
Diaz plays third with Schubert at shortstop. Gilman is at second base with Beaton anchoring first, and Steiniger does the catching. First pitch is low to Davenport, ball one. So it'll be Bauman next for FGCU. Again, supposed to pitch this game. Instead, she's now the designated player. The 1-0 offering is pulled foul towards the FGCU dugout, 1-1. Davenport swinging it at .318. He's got another year left here at FGCU. Surrounded by a bunch of seniors in that starting lineup. Here's the 1-1. Pulled foul for strike two. So we are seeing some contact here against Tino, but so far just some foul balls and grounders right at Gilman. Tino ready, now the pitch. Hit on the ground to third, under the glove of Diaz and down the line. And Davenport is aboard with 2 outs in the first. So they'll give Davenport a hit, and the Eagles have a runner on first with 2 outs for Bauman.
Designated player, Taylor Bauman.
Good old-fashioned Olay out there by Diaz here in the first. As Bauman takes at the top of the zone for ball one. Diaz tried to play it off to the side, and it stayed low. Here's the 1-0. Off the glove of the catcher, Steiniger, and on to second goes Davenport. Some lack of concentration on a couple of plays here in the first inning by the Hatters, and it's 2-0 on Bauman with a runner in scoring position. So a pass ball there, and now the 2-0 on the inside corner for a strike. Bauman trying to keep the inning alive for her fellow pitcher, Missy Moore, on deck. Bauman and Missy Moore have 8 of the 10 home runs this year for FGCU. 2-1 is in for a strike. No, called high, ball 3. So it's Bauman, Missy Moore, and Hope Hernandez in the middle third of the order. 3-1 pitch. On the corner at the knee, strike 2. Eagles with one of the better offenses in the league. Strong numbers across the board for the top 5 hitters in the lineup. 3-2 is ripped foul past Coach DeRose. They'll do it again. So both pitchers having to use at least 20 pitches here in the first inning. Still scoreless so far. Tino set, another 3-2. Fouled back again, good cut by Bauman. Tino has given her team quite a bit of length this season. 4 straight outings with at least 5 innings pitched. And she's got a couple of complete games in that span as well. Has kept the ERA in the low 4s. That one misses low, close pitch. Tino wanted it, but instead Bauman draws a walk. And just like we saw in the top of the first, there's 2 outs and 2 on. And Missy Moore coming up. Only 32 at-bats for Missy Moore. She is one of their top pitchers. And that one's inside for ball 1, but she'll get some chances to swing it as well. And here in this postseason game, doing both. 1-0 on the way from Tino. And it's upstairs, ball 2. Tino fires, and it's low, 3-0. Hernandez on deck, a 258 hitter, so not quite the threat Missy Moore is, but still very capable. And in danger of loading the bases here in the first. Tino's 3-0. High ball 4, not getting the call there at the top of the zone a few times now. It's come in at the letters, and it's been called a ball. So back-to-back walks, and the bases are loaded here for Hope Hernandez.
Number 17, second baseman, Hope Hernandez.
Hernandez, the middle infielder from Tampa, transfer from Troy, with a chance to do some damage here in the first. Eagles trying to get on top. That one sinks. Oh, it's called a strike there at the very bottom of the zone. That was a similar pitch to the one that Bauman took on 3-2 and got a ball call. And that one a strike to Hernandez. Davenport at third, Bauman at second, Missy Moore at first, as that one misses away and the count is even. Tino deals. And that one's inside. Hernandez decided at the last minute not to swing, and it pays off as the pitch tailed inside, and now it's 2-1. Nowhere to put Hernandez. The righty delivers, and it's low, ball 3. We can feel the pressure mounting here for Jamie Tino as Gilman comes in to offer some encouragement. A deep breath, has to throw a strike. And just caught the knees to bring the count full. Full count with 2 outs. First baseman Beaton comes over. Might back up a little bit here, give herself some range. Runners ready to go. The payoff. Chop towards third. Diaz handles, fires across the infield to get her. Well done by Diaz to get the Hatters out of the inning, and both pitchers able to skate around danger in the first. We'll head to the second, no score. You're watching Game 1 of the ASUN quarterfinals. Danielle Diaz leads it off for Stetson. Both teams stranding multiple runners in the first. So we've got ourselves a pretty intense battle here right away. Diaz, Baxter, and Beaton in the first pitch. Catches the knees, 0-1. Macy Moore catches the outside edge, 0-2. The righty fires, and it's up and away. No chase from Diaz, who had an eventful bottom of the first. Let a ground ball go by her, and then with the bases loaded and 2 outs, able to make a pretty tough play moving to her left to get Stetson out of trouble. Here's the 1-2. Outside, and the count evens up. FGCU won all 6 of the meetings this year between these teams. This one is ripped over second base into right center field. Callahan there to play it in. It's a leadoff single for Diaz, so the second straight inning that Stetson has led off with a base hit. There have been some close games between these teams, so it's not as lopsided as 6-0 sounds. Even though Macy Moore is the workhorse on this pitching staff, she's actually pitched less innings this year against Stetson than Sarah Lawton has. First pitch misses for ball one. Mckenna has given up more hits than innings pitched this year against Stetson. ERA at 3.34. There's a strike, which is actually the highest ERA of any of the Eagles pitchers. It's right on the exact same ERA as she has for the season. 3.34 for the season, 3.34 against Stetson. The 1-1, off-speed pitch, strike two. Over 120 innings now this year for Marissa Mckenna. Top 10 in a number of pitching categories all time at FGCU. That one is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Baxter has drawn it even. The pitch. Low. Thomas tried to hold it there, but it's ball 3. There has been a grinded out feel to all of these at-bats early. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Mckenna, who was able to run that ball down and in on Baxter. And there's one away in the second. That brings up Beaton with 1 on and 1 out.
First baseman, number 16, Catherine Beaton.
Just a freshman, first pitch to the first baseman. Outside, ball 1. Now, whoever prevails in this series, advancing to the semifinals, will play a team from the other division in Atlanta next weekend. There's strike 1 as it drops in for Mckenna. The semifinals and finals will be played at Kennesaw State in a double elimination format. Here's the 1-1, and it is low for ball 2. So you'll have the higher seed in the north facing the lower seed in the south and vice versa. So depending on how all 4 games or 4 series shake out this weekend, we do know that FGCU will not play Liberty in the first round, and we know that Stetson will not play Lipscomb under any circumstance as their strike 2. But if chalk holds, FGCU would play Kennesaw State, and Stetson, if they can pull the upset, would face Liberty. Here's the 2-2. Rolled on the ground to first, and Schubert is there to touch it up, and the at-bat continues. It'll be a 3-day tournament at Kennesaw next weekend. 2 games the first day, 3 games the second day, and then 2 games with an if necessary on the final day, May 15th. And there's strike 3, third strikeout for Mckenna as she gets beaten to chase one down in the zone. And now Gilman the last chance for Stetson. Well, Mckenna is not a strikeout pitcher, but she's got 3 strikeouts through the first 8 batters today. Has only 38 strikeouts in 119 innings entering today, and way, way above that pace so far. So Gilman the last chance for Stetson in the second, and she takes down and away for ball 1. Gilman rounding out the order for Coach Griffin. 1-0. Dives down and away for ball 2. It'll be interesting to see how Coach DeRose uses his 3 pitchers in this series. He's got 3 arms that he really trusts. All of them are seniors. The 2-0. Line to third and gloved by Estroff. Great reactions by Emily to end the inning. Leadoff single goes to waste, and we remain scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second here in game number 1. bottom third of David DeRose's order here in the bottom of the second. Still no score between Stetson and FGCU. Jamie Tino back to the circle, and her first pitch is low to Thomas for ball one. Estroff next, and then Callahan in the second. Eagles loaded the bases in the first, but unable to push anything across. 1-0 is fouled off. Well, we are excited you joined us for this ASUN Best of 3 series. I think this is a great format to start things off. If you lose the first game, your goal is to push things to tomorrow. Here's the 1-1. And it's fouled off, strike two. And of course, probably part of the reason they scheduled the double header here to start it is for COVID reasons, trying to limit travel and the amount of time you spend in visiting cities and hotels. But it ends up being a really fun weekend, and it's over in, less than 24 hours. Here's the 1-2. And it's looped out towards right center, and racing over to make the catch is Russell. So Riley Russell makes a good play in the gap to take a hit away from Thomas. And Estroff will come up. So a lot of intensity in a short amount of time in this first round series, and all 8 teams are doing this. There's no byes in the first round. There are 9 ASUN softball teams. And so 8 of the 9 qualify. Here's the pitch to Estroff. And it's on the corner, strike one. Estroff just made a heck of a play at third to end the previous inning. Bellarmine, by the way, was the one team that didn't qualify for the tournament. They did not win a game in conference this year. They're strike two. They did win they won 6 overall, but none in ASUN play. 0-2 to Estroff. Reached for, tap, that's going to be trouble. Diaz has to hurry, and the throw is not in time, and it gets away. Estroff is going to stay at first, so an infield single for the FGCU third baseman. We could not have deadened it any better on the left side of the infield. Second hit for the Eagles, and it brings up Farley Callahan.
The right fielder, number 32, Farley Callahan.
Callahan, one of the seniors for the Eagles, playing right field. First pitch from Tino. Strike one at the knees. So Davenport and Estroff with the hits, both of them on the ground towards third base, the 0-1. That one is outside. The one hit by Davenport was hit sharply. The one by Estroff was a tapper. And then Tino is danced around a couple of walks as well. The pitch. Lifted beyond first, angling over Gilman, and Gilman makes the catch for out number 2. So back to the top of the order now for Nini Rowe. Grounded out to Gilman in the first, and here comes Gilman in again. Gilman and Schubert will come several steps in from their normal position, especially Gilman, who is basically flanking the pitcher, Tino. That one is down and in. It looks like a 3-receiver set with Gilman in the slot and Tino taking the snap. This does not look like a baseball or softball formation by any standards. The 1-0. Runner goes, tapped towards the hole, fielded by Beaton. The diving attempt not in time. Heading for third is Estroff, and she's in there. Rowe beats it out as she was able to split Gilman and Beaton. Beaton did everything she could, but no chance to change direction and get back to first in time. So a couple of infield hits have put runners at first and third for FGCU. And so Batterton has a chance to put the Eagles on top. And we're going to get a visit here as Coach Griffin will head to the circle to speak with his young righty Jamie Tino. So we've had some threats early on, but neither team able to push anything across. We've had someone reach scoring position in 3 of the 4 half innings already. Nobody's gotten the big hit yet. Maybe Batterton could change that. Just a sophomore, but a very polished hitter. So Batterton digs in, ready to face Tino for the second time.
Number 88, the left fielder, Mckenna Batterton.
Estroff at third is the go-ahead run. First pitch. A strike, they throw to short to Schubert. It's a stolen base for Rowe, who now has 30 steals this year. First ASUN player to reach that plateau. It was called a strike. Here's the 0-1 to Mckenna. Same spot, same result. A strike on the outside corner. Base hit could score 2. Tino delivers, and it's down and away. No chase by Batterton. Ready, spins that ball around, gets the sign from Steiniger. The pitch is lifted down the right field line. Going to be a tough play, and the catch is made by Clary. Oh, Tino gets out of trouble again. We're through 2. Still no score in Game 1. Live from Fort Myers. Top of the third, Clary leads it off. It's the top of the order for Stetson against Marissa Meesey-Moore. Both pitchers have worked around some base runners so far to keep this game clean. Clary takes strike 1 with Jackson and Russell due up next. 3 lefties here at the top of the order. Clary doubled to left field to start the day. 0-1. Keeps the bat back, and that's a ball. Meesey-Moore fires. That one's hit sharply up the middle. Hernandez can't reach it. Rowe there to back it up. It's a single for Clary, who is 2 for 2. Meesey-Moore left that off-speed pitch up, and Clary able to wait back and drive it up the middle. So Jackson the hitter now with the leadoff hitter on.
The left fielder, number 2, Elizabeth Jackson.
Astroff and Schubert in. Jackson pulls back a bunt and takes ball 1. Meesemore fires, and that's a strike. Jackson was looking to bunt again, but pulled it back. .88 degrees at first pitch today. Temperature will drop a little bit throughout this doubleheader. There's a bunt behind home, touched up by Thomas, strike 2. Forecast says 75 degrees when we're done tonight. So should drop more than 10 degrees over the course of this doubleheader. Not sure if the humidity will dissipate that much though. Pitch, chopped towards short, Davenport in, gloves the low hop, fires to first in time. Well done by Reedy Davenport to retire Jackson. On to second goes Clary with Russell coming up. So here's where it gets a little dicey for Meesemore. Russell, a .333 hitter. Schubert, tons of power, a .326 hitter.
Number 11, center fielder, Riley.
And a single to the outfield should give Stetson the lead. Russell, the center fielder, just made a heck of a grab in the second. Here's the pitch. Low for ball 1. Meesemore fires, up and away. Ball 2. Russell drew a walk last time. Here's the 2-0, and it's low, ball 3. You don't want to put 2 on for Schubert. That's what they did in the first inning, and Meesemore was fortunate to get out of it. The pitch is a strike at the very bottom of the zone, 3-1. Crouched open stance for Russell. The pitch, high, ball 4. So she has walked for the second time, and it's first and second with 1 out for Schubert. The exact same situation she came to the plate in the first inning and popped out.
Number 23, shortstop, Lizzie, Schubert.
First pitch, a slow one, and it catches the upper corner of the zone, 0-1. And that one is downstairs to even up the count. Schubert has 7 of the 11 homers this year for Stetson. Neither of these teams with many home runs. You can look to 1 or 2 sources on both sides, and there's strike 2. Good pitch. Down and in for Meesemore, and Schubert swung over it. Meesemore fires, and it's lined to the right side, a base hit in the right. The runners had to hold on the liner. They're going to send the lead runner. The throw to the plate, bouncing not in time, throw to second. They've got Schubert in a rundown. Hernandez will take her back to first. Takes a look over at Russell at third and keeps her there. It's an RBI single for Lizzie Schubert, and Stetson takes a 1-0 lead here in the third. Went the other way perfectly, and Callahan rolled it in from right field. So 4th hit already for the Hatters, and the batter is Steiniger. 1st and 3rd, still only 1 out. Potential bunting situation. Schubert all the way in at first. First pitch. Hit on the ground to second. Hernandez comes home with it. The tag is in time. Well done by Hernandez and Thomas. Slapping the tag on Russell just in the nick of time. It's a fielder's choice to record out number 2. First and second now for Diaz.
Third baseman, number 19, Mckenna Batterton.
First pitch. Sinking low. Ball 1. That one is down and away for ball 2. Moore trying to reel it back in. The 2-0. On the corner for a strike, 2-1. 60 pitches already for Marissa Moore. Still working here in the 3rd. Two-one. On the outside corner, strike 2. She battles back to get even. Now trying to put away Diaz and end this 3rd inning. Signs coming in from the bench. Marissa's got him now. Looks at the armband, the 2-2. Line towards left field, a base hit. They're going to hold Schubert at 3rd as Batterton gets it in quickly. An opposite field single to load the bases. So Clary and Diaz are both 2 for 2. And Baxter has a chance to push the Stetson lead even further. We're going to get a pinch runner here. Jasmine Scott will run at second base for Steiniger, the catcher.
Now running courtesy runner at second base, number 14, Jasmine Scott. Who's she running for? Catcher. Oh, Steiniger? Yeah, 6. Designated player, number 18, Marissa Baxter.
So huge spot for Baxter and the Hatters. You've got Schubert at 3rd. The pinch runner at 2nd. Diaz at 1st. That one's low for ball 1. So Scott at 2nd. And Moore misses on the first pitch. Baxter, the sophomore, trying to make a name for herself here in the postseason. 1-0. Hit sharply on the ground. Handled by Davenport. Goes to 3rd for the force. And that ends the inning. Not how they normally do it, but an outs and out. And Moore strands 3. Hatters have to settle for 1 on the single by Schubert. Middle of the 3rd. Hatters in front. 3-4-5 coming up for FGCU. 3 righties against Jamie Tino. Tino has allowed 3 hits and 2 walks through the first 2, but has been able to strand 5 runners, and her team is leading as Davenport takes outside. Still a long way to go in this game number 1, still in the 3rd inning, but it feels like Stetson has seized a little momentum here on the road against a team that's beaten them 6 times. This one is hammered deep to left field. Jackson looking up near the wall. It's gone! Reedy Davenport with her 2nd home run of the year immediately ties the game at 1. The junior shortstop put a charge in that one, and we are even. So Bauman comes to the plate with this game back to even. Stetson worked so hard for that run in the 3rd, and Davenport, who is not usually a home run threat, sent that ball out in a hurry. There was a line drive that had enough behind it to get over the wall. First pitch to Bauman is inside for a ball. Just the 6th home run that Tino has allowed in 60 innings. 1-0. That one is low for a ball. Bauman leads the team in homers. The pitch. Line towards the gap in right center. That's going to roll all the way to the wall. Bauman heading for 2nd. Is going to pull in there with a double. Back-to-back extra base hits for FGCU. Oh, the scoreboard woke him up in a hurry. And now Macy Moore with the go-ahead run in scoring position and nobody out. Amaya Gaynor sets a run for Bauman out at 2nd. Macy Moore, then Hernandez. Here in the bottom of the 3rd. Identical line score up there right now. Both teams with 1 run on 5 hits and no errors. A lot of offense so far in game 1. 10 hits in 3 innings as Macy Moore watches down low. Marissa worked out a walk in the 1st. FGCU now with 4 hits in their last 6 at-bats. 1-0 pitch. Down low, ball 2. Swing and a miss on a tailing pitch down 2-1. As that one hits the knees, close pitch, but it's 2-2 on Macy Moore. Two on the way. Just missed in, ball 3. Still nobody out. The payoff from Tino. And it's fouled off. Macy Moore got a piece as she clanked it through the legs of the catcher, Steininger. Breeze picking up here at FGCU. Wind blowing left to right. Davenport hit that homer into the teeth of the wind. It didn't matter. She hit it on the screws. Payoff pitch on the way. Reached for, grounded back to the pitcher. Gaynor trying for 3rd, slides, and she's out of 3rd. Oh, Gaynor gave a graceful slide. It looked like she might have got under the tag, but it's a 1-5 fielder's choice for the first out of the inning. So 1 away, and Hernandez coming up. Both pitchers are going to be over 60 pitches through 3 innings. This has been a very competitive game so far. These hitters very patient and working the count. We're going to get another runner here, this time for Meeseymore. So Hernandez bats here. 1 on and 1 out. That one's low, ball 1. Hernandez came up with the bases loaded in the first. Chopped one to the left side, and Diaz made a good play to end the inning. 1-1 in the third of game 1. Here's the pitch. Up and away, ball 2. Stetson's got to be pretty pleased with the way that Tino has battled here. Young pitcher in a postseason setting. On the road and very competitive. The 2-0. Popped up, first base side, foul ground. Beaton has room, and she makes the catch in front of her own dugout. Hernandez retire for out number 2. And so Abby Thomas the last chance for the Eagles. Casey Huber, by the way, is the one running at first for Meeseymore. First pitch is up and away, ball 1. That one sails high, ball 2, and Thomas in control. The righty deals. And that one just missed up and in, 3-0. A walk here would push a runner into scoring position for Estroff, who's a .318 hitter. And there's a strike, 3-1. And there's a strike. Thomas thought it was outside, was ready to run to first. But now it's full, and Huber can be off with the pitch. Payoff coming. Low, ball 4. A more confident take that time by Thomas, who hustles down to first. And so there are runners at first and second with 2 outs for the aforementioned Estroff. Third walk issued already by Tino.
22, third baseman, Emily Estroff.
And she watches well high, ball 1. The 1-0. Downstairs for ball 2. And now we're going to get a visit for the pitcher as the catcher Steininger goes out there. Coaches haven't come out. This is just a quick breather for Tino, who was falling behind again. You would have to think that Chloe Temples would be the most likely option to come into the game in relief, even though she is their #1 starter. I think you'd rather go with her than Lauren Hobbs, who is a more traditional reliever, but her ERA is the highest of the 3 main pitchers. That one's low for ball 3, and if you're Stetson, you have to be thrilled to be tied here in this game 1 against a team that's beat you 6 times. So if you've got them in a close game, you got to go for the win right away. Here's the 3-0. Down the middle, strike 1. Tino fires, and it's lined to left, sinking quickly, but caught by Jackson, who comes in to make the catch. Eagles settle for 1 on the homer by Davenport. We head to the 4th. It's the Eagles 1 and the Hatters 1. You're watching the A-Sun quarterfinals. Eight, 9, and 1 coming up for Stetson with Marissa Meesemore out for her 4th inning. And Catherine Beaton watches low, ball 1. John Vitas with you here on the A-Sun Network as FGCU welcomes in Stetson. They played up in DeLand last weekend. That one's high. Of course, it was a series that counted towards the stats in the record, but there was really no implication to play for there. FGCU knew they would be the 1. Stetson knew they would be the 4, and that they would meet this weekend in Fort Myers. Here's the 2-0. Chop towards third. Estroff plays it, but it won't count. It's a foul ball. That one caught a piece of Beaton's foot, apparently, and so it's 2-1. The righty fires, off-speed pitch, strike 2. Stetson 1, Eagles 1. Missy Moore comes home. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Marissa Missy Moore, as Beaton goes down swinging to start the frame. That is the first inning of the night that Missy Moore has retired the leadoff hitter. Had allowed a hit in each of the first 3 innings.
Second baseman, number 12, Alyssa Gilman.
Even though they only played about half a season last year, Missy Moore still eclipsed 70 innings. That one's lifted off the left side out of play 0-1.
Shout out Reed Barnett for making the catch. Softball strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah.
Missy Moore fires, and it's low. Gilman pulls back a bunt, 1-1. This one lined to short and gloved by Davenport. Good reactions there by Reedy, and Gilman put away for the second out. So both teams got a run in the third, and 2 quick outs for Missy Moore to start the fourth.
Stetson's leadoff hitter and right fielder, number 10, Brianna Clary.
Clary, the leadoff hitter, up, 2 outs, nobody on. Missy Moore's pitch. On the outside corner, strike 1. Clary is perfect so far, 2 for 2. This is Clary's first full season. That one's high for a ball. Was a freshman during the shortened year last year. Still made 18 starts before the virus ended things, but this year getting a full season and taking advantage of it. Clary ready for a 1-1. Rolled towards the circle, handled cleanly by Missy Moore, and the flip is in time. Best inning of the day so far for the Eagles righty. We're halfway home in game 1. It's 1 apiece. You're watching the A-Sun Championships. Pinch hitter to start the bottom of the fourth for the Eagles, as number 5, Hannah Szymanski, set to lead it off for Farley Callahan. Now this is a big strength that Coach DeRose has. He has a humongous and useful bench.
Number 5,
Great
Szymanski.
compliments to the starters. You've got some speed, some power, some versatility coming off that bench as Szymanski takes low. Szymanski's got some speed. She can also hit. And she bats here for Callahan in the 9-hole. 1-1, bottom 4. The pitch. chopped over the circle. Going to be a tough play. The throw not in time. Szymanski beats out Schubert's attempt, and the Eagles have the leadoff woman on here in the fourth. So Szymanski gets it done coming off the bench, and now she can wreak havoc on the base paths as well. You got another speedster coming up in row.
Eagles leadoff hitter and center fielder number 6, Nene Rowe.
Runner goes, throw to second, into center field. Szymanski steals second base, and right away FGCU has the go-ahead run in scoring position. And the infield comes all the way in again against Rowe. Look at Gilman, even further in. 0-1. A bunt, double hit the bat. That's a foul ball, strike 2. Rowe from Avon Park, Florida. Made 25 starts last year before the season was upended and hit .481. Unreal. Here's the 0-2. And she went around, strike 3, reached for it, tried to hold back, but it's the first strikeout for Jamie Tino. So 1 away and Batterton coming up.
Eagles left fielder number 88, Mckenna Batterton.
First pitch is up and away for ball 1. Batterton grounded out to second in the first, flew out to right in the second. Third time through the order now for Coach DeRosa's team. 1-0 pitch. On the outside edge to get even. Tino continuing to battle, outpitching her numbers so far. And now Batterton ahead in the count with Davenport on deck, who homered in the last inning. Two 2-1 coming. Tailing down and away, 3 balls and 1 strike. First base is open, but it only makes things more complicated for the Hatters. The 3-1. Drilled on the ground to second. Gilman fields and flips in time as Szymanski moves to third. So it's all up to Davenport here in the fourth to try and give the Eagles the lead. Has already driven in the only run so far for her team.
The shortstop number 1, Reedy Davenport.
Tino's first pitch is lifted towards left center, and running in to make the catch is Russell. Well done by Riley Russell to take a run away from FGCU, and we remain tied as we head to the 5th in Game 1. Playoff time here in May for the ASUN softballers. Semester already complete for these players, but trying to prolong their 2020-21 school year with a postseason run. Elizabeth Jackson leads it off against Marissa Meesemore, and the first pitch is called a strike. Both teams getting one run in the third. We remain tied here in the fifth. Hannah Szymanski remains in the game in right field after pinch hitting for Callahan. As Meesemore catches the knees, strike two. So Batterton, Rowe, and Szymanski now making up the Eagles outfield. Both these teams can really hit. And this is the meat of the order for Stetson. This one's hit on the ground towards short. Bobbled by Davenport and no play. Tough play on the backhand. Jackson reaches. It'll be an infield single for the Stetson left fielder.
Single. Is that hit?
So Russell, who's got a couple of walks, comes up. Just made another good running catch to end the bottom of the fourth. She made a play in the right center field gap early in the game. Runner goes, throw on the money, but the tag not in time. All right, Jackson able to slide around the tag, and it's a stolen base to put the go-ahead run in scoring position. Boy, if Stetson's able to pull off this game and win, it gets a whole lot more interesting the rest of the weekend. Obviously, on paper, this should be an Eagles sweep, but I think most would agree that Stetson's record this year not indicative of what they're capable of. This one's chopped towards third. Tough play for Estroff. Has to hurry, and they got her. Bang, bang play at first. FGCU gets the call as Jackson moves to third. It's a successful sacrifice for Russell. .53 on the putout. Russell still doesn't have an at-bat in this game, and now it'll be Schubert. Meesemore up over 80 pitches now.
Lizzie, Schubert.
Schubert 1 for 2 with an RBI. Drove in the only Stetson run on a single to right. Out one, down low, ball one, close pitch. Eagles do have the infield in here. Jackson at third runs really well, so it would be a tough play if they tried to come home to get the tag. Now, normally I think you would always bring the infield in this spot. Here's the 1-0. There's a bunt, and it's fouled off, 1-1. In a 3-game series against a pitcher with an opponent average of .324, I think this might be a situation where you consider going against the book and keeping the infield back, just because I think it causes you a lot of trouble if Jackson's able to beat out a throw to the plate, because then there's still only one out and you've given up the lead. Here's the 1-1, and it's lifted deep down the left field line, but hooking foul, strike two. Eagles starting their quest tonight for their first conference title since 2016, their first ASUN tournament title since 2012. They've been a winning program year in and year out, but haven't won a tournament since 12. And there's a good pitch. Schubert down swinging. Meesemore with strikeout number 5. And now Steininger, the last chance for Stetson in this inning.
Number 6, the catcher, Nikki Steininger.
This is a season high in strikeouts now for Marissa Meesemore, as Steininger takes ball one. And there's ball 2. Coach D. Rose sticking with his experienced senior. You've got 2 other seniors available in Bauman and Lawton. This one's pulled towards the bag, a foul ball. Jackson able to dodge it. And fortunately for Estroff, who was shielded on the play, the ball went wide of the bag. Otherwise, that could have cost FGCU a run. Two-one pitch is popped up, shallow right. Hernandez racing out there, and she makes the grab. Good angle from Hope Hernandez to end the inning, and the Eagles get out of a jam. Middle of the 5th in this 7-inning game, tied at 1 in game 1. Bottom of the 5th in this tie game, best of 3 series between Stetson and FGCU. Taylor Bauman leads it off, the designated player for the Eagles, and she has a strike called at her knees. Tino, the 5'9 senior, back to the circle. Was on the Ace Sun All Freshman team back in 2018, ERA of 3.3. But her ERA has gone up ever since. That one's high for a ball. ERA was in the high 5s last year. Has brought it down to the low 4s this year. But career ERA right around 4.3. That one's downstairs. Ball 2 to Bauman. Tino has logged about 280 innings in her career. 2-1 to Bauman. Up and away. Ball 3. Misi Moore on deck, and then Hernandez, 4, 5, and 6 in Coach D's order. The pitch. Low, ball 4. Bauman draws a leadoff walk on base for the 3rd time in this game. Misi Moore, a walk and a fielder's choice. 0 for 1. Chops that pitch off herself, strike 1. That was low, but wanted a piece of it. You do have to ask yourself, when do these seniors get antsy here? Both these teams want this game so badly, and you've got a senior in the circle for both sides. You've got plenty of upperclassmen in the lineup. Well, these teams have played each other so often. The 0-1. Called a strike down and away, 0-2. Misi Moore says if they get that call, I would love to get that call on the other side. Here's the pitch. Up and away, ball one. 90 pitches now for Tino, working here in the fifth. The 1-2. Drilled out to the gap in deep left center. Russell looking up, and it's one hopping the fence. They're going to hold Bauman at third. It's a laser double for Marissa Misi-Moore. Just the second double of the year for Misi-Moore. And FGCU is poised to take the lead in the fifth. Second and third, and nobody out. Hernandez has a chance to give her team the lead. And here comes Coach Griffin to potentially make a move. Chloe Temples, their number one pitcher, is not pitched yet. Their biggest strikeout threat, and that's what you need here. No change being made, just a quick few words from Coach Griffin, and now the Hatters firing each other up out in the circle to try and get through this jam. Hernandez makes plenty of contact. Only 12 strikeouts in 36 games this year. So the Hatters bring the infield all the way in.
Oh, Hernandez.
And here we go. Tino to Hernandez. And this one's popped up towards third. That's a foul ball, and the catch is not made. Schubert overran it. Strike one. The pitch outside as Hope draws it even, 1-1. It's the first of a doubleheader here today. Whoever loses this one will face an elimination game tonight. The 1-1. Well high, ball two. First base is open. You've got the catcher Thomas on deck. And then Estroff after that. So you can be somewhat careful here to Hernandez. The 2-1 pitch is looped out towards shallow center. Long run in. It drops in for a base hit. Great read by Bauman. She will score. And FGCU takes a 2-1 lead. Hernandez with the RBI single. Infield was in, so Schubert had no chance to go back. Russell came all the way in, but couldn't quite get there. And so there's still nobody out with runners at the corners for Abby Thomas.
The catcher, number 25, Abby Thomas.
There's a runner, or Hernandez tries for second, and she is out. Well done by Steiniger to throw out Hernandez at second.
Ball. Oh, nope. Who made that play? Was that the second baseman?
Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball, 1-1. Misi-Moore at third, a run of insurance. Tino delivers. Drilled up the middle, a base hit, and it's 3-1 FGCU. Thomas puts it right back up the middle, and the Eagles have struck for a pair here in the fifth. Runner on first, still only one out. Estroff coming up. 9 hits now for the Eagles against Tino. And Coach DeRose calls everybody over to have a meeting. Szymanski coming over as well. She's on deck. Coach DeRose pulling Estroff and Thomas all the way over to the outfield for this conversation, and a full meeting in the circle as well for Stetson. So finally a team has broken through. Through the first 4.5 innings, we had 15 runners stranded between both teams. And so finally somebody able to put up a big inning. And this feels like a huge inning, even though it's only 2 runs. 3-1 Eagles, and now they're 6 outs away from game number 1. And game 2 will start about 30 minutes after the first game ends. So it's a quick turnaround for these coaching staffs to put a lineup together and figure out who's going to pitch. Which is why sometimes the break goes a little more than 30 minutes, but that's the plan. So it should be a long night of softball, but it's a treat to be able to see postseason softball in this format as Maggie Ricks comes in to pinch run at first for Thomas. So Ricks is in there. You got Estroff and Szymanski. Both can swing it. Tino trying to stop the bleeding right here. First pitch is low, ball 1.
Sun doesn't set till 8:03.
The 1-0 pitch. A bunt, and she missed it. Strike 1.
I think we'll be blocked by like 7:45, but it still gives us another hour.
Estroff from Coconut Creek, Florida. I don't think you can have a Coconut Creek in too many other states. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss on a tailing pitch down and in, strike 2. Hawaii, maybe Southern California. That's about it. Diaz all the way in the pitch. Hit sharply up the middle, beyond the reach of a diving Gilman and into center. Ricks will stop at second. Another hard hit ball in the inning for FGCU. Estroff delivers the 4th consecutive knock against Tino. Double-digit hits now for FGCU, and Szymanski with a big opportunity. Tino now up over 100 pitches for the evening. And Szymanski getting her second look at Tino. First pitch is hit sharply to short, off the glove of Schubert, flips to second for the out. Great job by Schubert to stick with it. Did they call her safe? They called her safe. Schubert can't believe it. I thought that was a pretty heads-up play. The ball definitely beat the runner, so either they're saying that Gilman's foot came off the bag or she dropped the ball. Not a clean grab at second base, so the bobble costs them the play. That'll be a fielder's choice. And then an error, I suppose, on Gilman. E4, I believe, there.
We're going to put an error up for Stetson. I think the second baseman is the one that dropped it, so E4.
And so now we've got all kinds of action. Both coaches have their wheels spinning. We're going to get a pinch hitter for Nene Rowe. So no hit for Szymanski, but everybody's safe. So Haley Morrell, a senior, has a chance to put the nail in the coffin here in game number 1. First pitch is in the dirt, smothered by Steininger. Tino technically has not recorded an out in this frame. The only out was on a caught stealing at second base. Here's the 1-0. And this one's looped out towards left center. Jackson cutting in, makes the catch. Runner tags. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's cut off. Rick scores, and it's 4-1. So Morrell drives one in, and it's a 3 spot for the Eagles. So 2 outs, runners at first and second. Batterton due up.
The left fielder, number 88, Mckenna Batterton.
First pitch. Low for a ball. Batterton 0 for 3 has put it in play all 3 times. Couple of ground outs to Gilman and a fly ball to right. She's pulled everything so far. Here's the 1-0. Down and away, and Batterton ahead. 2 balls and no strikes. So FGCU finally breaking through against Tino here in the 5th inning. The pitch. Pulled to first, a foul ball. Reaching for it was beaten, but wide of her and down the line. Righty fires. Ripped towards the hole and caught by Beaton. Great reactions from the Stetson first baseman to get Tino out of the jam. But the Eagles get 3 in the 5th, 3 runs on 4 hits, and they leave them loaded. We'll head to the 6th inning. It's FGCU 4 and Stetson 1. FGCU now in control in game 1. They lead by 3 as Marissa Meesemore goes back to work, facing 6, 7, and 8 in the Stetson order. First pitch on the corner for a strike. A few changes for Coach DeRose after that big rally. Ashley Hayes enters the game in right field. Nene Rowe re-enters as well in center. This one's pulled to first, backhanded by Huber. Takes it to the bag for out number 1. Good job by Huber to go and get that ball, because otherwise it might have been foul if she had waited around.
Number 25, Thomas, has re-entered.
So Diaz retired for the first time, and the batter is Baxter.
Now batting designated player number 18, Marissa Baxter.
First pitch to Baxter. A slow one in the dirt, ball one. Macy Moore would love a postseason complete game if she can get one here in 2021, her senior year. 1-0. Is lifted to right, pretty deep. Hayes missed it. Got spun around and it hit off the top of her glove. Into second, and stopping there is Baxter. They'll give her a double. Baxter hit it well. Base hit number 7 for the Hatters. Beaton, the first baseman, is due up. Over towards the dugout, and I think Coach Griffin might be making a change. And we are going to have a pinch hitter here. This is number 1, Nia Morgan.
Pinch hitting for the Hatters, number 1, Nia Morgan.
So Morgan in for Beaton here in the 6th, with a runner on second and 1 away. Macy Moore gets the sign from the dugout as the shadows start to creep across home plate. First pitch on the inside corner, a good one. We'll see if that becomes a bit of a factor here. Right now the batter's box is in the shade. Rest of the field still in the sun. One-0, well high. Or rather, 0-1 is well high, 1-1. By the time we get to game 2, it'll be a true night game. Sun setting right around 8 o'clock here in Southwest Florida. This one's pulled foul, strike 2. It is getting towards the hot part of the year here in Florida. Again, temperatures in the upper 80s for first pitch. But these teams are used to it. They train in it all year long, and it's been like this for the past few weeks. 1-2 on Morgan. Fresh off the bench, the pitch. Just missed high, gutsy take, and Morgan still in there, 2-2. Gilman on deck, and then the top of the order for Stetson. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Morgan took it, thought it was low, but Macy Moore able to paint the knees, and that's out number 2. Extends her season high with 6 strikeouts. And now we'll deal with Gilman, 2 outs and a runner on second, and we may see another change here. Coach Griffin coming over to John Schaefer, the home plate umpire. Griffin has lined out twice. We're going to get a pinch runner for Baxter. Madison Jump is in the game.
Running at second base for the Hatters, number 3, Madison Jump.
So Jump pinch running and Gilman hitting. Base hit could give the Hatters one of the runs back that they surrendered in the 5th.
Now batting second baseman number 12, Alyssa Gilman.
We're finally ready. Signs have been given. Missy Moore checks the wristband and comes home. Low with the first one. Gilman gets ahead. Gilman's had a busy day at second base. She's also struck a couple balls well, but still looking for her first hit. Chops one right side. Hernandez in, flips, and the inning is over. Missy Moore works around the double to put up a 0, and the Eagles are 3 outs away. They'll come to bat in the home 6th after this. You're watching the A-Sun Softball Championships. Florida Gulf Coast 4, Stetson 1. John Vitas welcoming you back. Home team Eagles have 3, 4, and 5 up in the order as Tino goes back to the circle and deals away for ball 1. Tino allowed 4 straight hits in the 5th. FGCU put up a 3 spot, and they're up by 3, 4-1. 1-0 to Reedy. Is lined to center, but right at Russell, who picks it off for the first out. Boy, Davenport has hit everything hard today. 2 for 4 in total. And it brings up Bauman, who is yet to be retired. A double and 2 walks.
Designated player number 42, Taylor Bauman.
First pitch. Line to short, over a leaping Schubert and towards the gap. Jackson was shaded that way, so she'll cut it off and hold Bauman to a single. But boy, is Bauman hot with the bat right now. On base for the 4th straight time. And Missy Moore coming up.
Number 31, the pitcher, Marissa Missy Moore.
First pitch. On the inside corner, strike 1. Missy Moore 1 for 2 with a walk. She doubled to get the rally going in the 5th. Eagles have gotten production from the middle of their order, which is what you want in the postseason. You want your best bats to be your best bats. That one's high, off the glove of Steiniger, and into second goes Bauman. A 115 pitches now for Tino. I guess you could assume Temples will probably start game 2 with the Stetson season potentially on the line. That one down and in for ball 2. Two one. Low, ball 3. Hernandez next for FGCU. Tino's pitch. Spun over first, and the catch is made by Clary, who came racing in for the second out. I think Stetson's outfield defense is a definite strength. And so it's left to Hernandez with 2 outs and a runner on second.
Second baseman, number 17, Hope Hernandez.
Time, Hope. He's calling you.
Hernandez drove in the go-ahead run in the 5th on a single. And now getting a word from her head coach. It's been a good one this first postseason game for these teams. 18 hits, but only 5 runs. We've seen a lot of runners stranded. Some good defense as well. So here we go, Bauman at second, first pitch. On the corner, strike one, good one from Tino. The 0-1. Runs outside. Stetson on the other side will have the top of the order due up in the 7th, so they can be optimistic about that. Here's the 1-1. Outside, ball 2. Tino keeping it down against Hernandez. Starting her 32nd game this year. This is game number 44 for FGCU. 2-1. Inside, ball 3. The pitch in the dirt, skips away. That allows Bauman to go to third. It's a walk and a wild pitch, and now things get more dangerous for Tino. Runners at the corners for Abby Thomas. That is the 5th walk that FGCU has coaxed tonight. Thomas takes a strike, 0-1. Tino trying to finish off these 6 innings. About to throw pitch number 125. So that is over 20 per inning. The 0-1. Popped up foul behind home. Steininger gives it a look but can't make the play. Strike 2. Now Steininger going out there to talk to Tino. See what they want to do on 0-2 to the FGCU catcher. So 11 hits and 5 walks for Florida Gulf Coast against Tino, but she has hung in there and kept her team in the game. 0-2. Upstairs for ball 1. Here's the pitch. Yeah, it's crushed foul. That's going to end up on the baseball field as Thomas got way out in front and launched it out of play. The next pitch. In the dirt, runner goes from first. Hernandez gets in a rundown. Bauman trying to score. The throw, and she's safe at home. Great base running by FGCU to add a run here in the 6th, and it is 5-1. That'll be put down as a steal of home for Bauman. And then Hernandez able to go to second when the throw came home. You could see Tino fired up after that one. Hard pitch in for ball 2. FGCU just 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position. Both teams actually are 2 for 12 with runners in scoring position, but they're able to scratch across a run here in the 6th with base running. The 3-2. Hit sharply foul over the first base coaching box. They'll do it again. So 2 wild pitches and a double steal allow Bauman to score from first. All kinds of shadows over the diamond right now. The payoff, rolled foul again, same spot, a little bit closer to the bag on a ball that would have been ball 4. Eagles coming into this one with a 26-17 record, but 15-3 in the A-Sun South. That one's line foul past Coach DeRose, and it'll be a 10-pitch at-bat here for Thomas. Should correct myself. They're actually 14-2 against the A-Sun South. They had a crossover weekend and split a couple of games. Shut out Bellarmine and then lost to Kennesaw State. Kennesaw State could be their next opponent in the semifinals, the start of the double elimination format. The payoff pitch, high, ball 4. Eagles continuing to battle here in the 6th against Tino, who has now walked 6. And Estroff is coming up.
The third baseman, number 22, Emily Estroff.
First pitch, a called strike 1. Next one. Catches the corner, strike 2. Estroff 2 for 3 in this game, and her one out was hit squarely as well. It was falling behind in this at-bat against Tino. 0-2 on the way. In the dirt, and it skips by the catcher. Tino seems to be running out of gas a little bit. She's missed badly on a few pitches in this inning. That is her the third wild pitch so far in this inning. And so now it's 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. And another visit. Catcher Steiniger going to go out there again. So now we're ready. Here's the 1-2 to Estroff. Got jammed there and fouled it back to stay alive. Again, game 2 will start about 30 minutes after this one ends. 3 more big outs left to get for FGCU's pitcher, Misi Moore. 1-2. Upstairs for a ball, 2-2. Here's the pitch. Grounded to third, handled well by Diaz, and the throw across the diamond ends the inning. But the Eagles add a run on a 1st and 3rd double steal. It's 5-1 FGCU as they look to close out the first game of this 3-game series when we come back. Last chance in game 1 for Stetson. Brianna Clary leads it off. And that one's low for ball 1. 2 for 3, a double and a single. Missy Moore going for the complete game in the first postseason matchup of the year for FGCU. Plenty of postseason experience for Marissa. The 1-0 is flown towards center. Easy play for Rowe. She's there and squeezes out number 1. This would be the first complete game for Missy Moore in 4 outings.
The left fielder, number 2, Elizabeth Jackson.
This would move her to 5-0 against the Hatters this year. And it would be complete game number 6 for Missy Moore, which would give her the team lead. That one's upstairs, ball 1 for Jackson. So these Hatters need at least 4 to keep this game going. As Missy Moore is ready, the pitch. On the inside edge for a strike. Russell next, the pitch. Loop towards the dugout, and a catch is made. Estroff into the cement of the dugout. A sliding grab for out number 2. And she knew exactly where that dugout was and pulled up at the last moment to avoid getting injured.
Number 11, center fielder.
So Stetson down to their final out in game 1. Russell comes to the plate, yet to record an at-bat today. 2 walks and a sac bunt. First pitch is high, ball 1. Missy Moore fires. Missed upstairs, ball 2. Eagles can feel it. This is a big step for them. if you can just get yourself into that 4-team tournament next weekend, you know you've got a chance at the NCAA tournament. And this is obviously a necessary step. That one is at the top of the zone, strike one. As good as Liberty is, and as good as the rest of the teams are in this conference, if you're in that 4-team field, you've got a pretty good chance. Just got to win a couple of tough games. Here's the 2-1. Low for ball 3. Macy Moore up to 110 pitches now. But more efficient than Tino on the other side, who was over 130 through 6 innings. Russell ahead. Here's the 3-1. And it's fouled off, strike 2. And Stetson down to their last strike. Macy Moore ready. The payoff pitch. Low, ball 4. Russell able to hold the swing and draws a 2-out walk to keep the game alive for Schubert. So Russell still with no at-bats today. 3 walks, and Schubert coming up.
Shortstop, number 23, Lizzie, Schubert.
Schubert's got plenty of pop, but in this spot, you just got to get on base. Schubert 1 for 3, the pitch. Up and away, ball 1. Infield as deep as you can get, so Russell could probably steal second if she wants. The pitch, there she goes, and it's drilled to the gap in right center. That's going to be over the head of Hayes and all the way to the fence. Getting the wave is Russell. She will score, and a close play at second as Schubert is in safely. It's an RBI double for Lizzie Schubert, and it's 5-2. So Schubert with a multi-hit game has driven in both Hatters runs, and Steiniger due up. And if she gets on, it would bring the tying run to the plate. So big spot here. Now a 3-run game. We've mentioned it a couple times, but all kinds of shadows all over the field right now. See if it proves problematic for either the hitter or the fielders. First pitch from Macy Moore. Line foul, just wide of the third base bag, 0-1. Macy Moore has set a season high in strikeouts in this game. And more importantly, in position for a victory. The 0-1. Low, and it's even now on Steiniger. Macy Moore has faced Stetson 4 times this year, but has never thrown a complete game. The pitch. Line towards left, racing in and making the catch to end the game is Batterton. Eagles take game 1. Final score, FGCU 5 and Stetson 2. Game wrapped up in 2 hours and 11 minutes. It was a tight one early, a lot of long, patient at-bats and a lot of runners left on base early in the game, but FGCU decides it with their 3 spot in the 5th. They were able to string together 4 straight hits, including RBI singles from Hernandez and Thomas, and they've got themselves a game in hand. The nightcap will be an elimination game for the Hatters, as their season will be on the line. FGCU improves to 27-17. Hatters fall to 8-25 for the year. So both teams will regroup, maybe have some dinner, and come back in about 30 minutes. Probably expect about a 7:50 first pitch in Game 2. We'll be under the lights for the nightcap when we return, so you can tune into the same stream and catch Game 2 as the Eagles look to advance to the A-Sun Final Four later on tonight. We'll be back for lineups and first pitch of Game 2 in about 30 minutes.